lay it out, lay it flat, roll it, and slap it, and pat it, and everything else.
And spank it.
Spank it and roll it out a little bit. I got you. Also, we're going to be going over here into the residential area in a little while. Once we get over there, I want y'all to leave a space on the sidewalk so people can pass us. The law, that's city law. I don't know if y'all know about that. You can't clog the sidewalk in the city of New Orleans. That's straight up law. You can get arrested for that. Also, please don't leave the tour without letting me know. If you leave this tour and you made a reservation, which I need to get y'all checked in, and you made a reservation and you leave this tour without letting me know, and you get hit by a car right down North Rampart Street, and my boss called me and tell me, hey, this person was on your tour, they got hit by a car, excuse me, I'm gonna delete your reservation, and I'm gonna tell her I don't know who the hell you are.
I don't blame you. Samantha. She's March. Yeah, March. Yeah, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna need y'all to be quiet. Seriously. Like, for the whole tour, be quiet. Can y'all do that for me? If you don't, I'm gonna kick you off the tour. Okay, you bet. Not you, more so far.
You like this guy, don't you?
I do. I love
You're
it.
having a good time.
Y'all give me a second. That's my boss. Let me know that somebody's late. There we go.
This guy already started messing with me.
All right, we're gonna go ahead.
Okay,
and,
I might have started messing with him, but he's messing with me. I like it.
I'm gonna let her take care of this. We're gonna go ahead and get started with the New Orleans history. Now, don't worry, we're not focusing on that. We need to focus on voodoo. That's why y'all came to see me today. We especially need to focus on voodoo since I just heard that. So let's get the New Orleans history out the way. We're gonna go ahead and just dive into this thing. North Rampart Street right here is really named North Rampart Street because there really was a rampart right there. Don't think wall. Think stick stones and dirt. You gotta remember the time period. We're talking 1800s. So this wall literally surrounded the French Quarter back then because the French Quarter itself was the original city of New Orleans. There's your city. That's it. The French built that city to drink and have more sex. There's your New Orleans history. We good? We all good? We good over there? We good? Yes, you good? All good? All right. So, voodoo. Let's dive into it. Now, I'm glad you said what you said because I don't want you to think you said something bad because you really didn't say anything bad at all. You actually said what they've been telling everybody for almost 200 years now. So that's actually pretty awesome you brought it up. Now Hollywood tells y'all that voodoo is black magic, spells, hexes, curses. We chop the head off the chicken, we drink the blood and just rub it all over. There's always this big-titted woman on TV with her nipples pointing up. And her nipples always pointing up in the air just like this. And then she just rubbing blood all over and they just steady bouncing and stuff. And she then they draw the blood pentagram on the ground. And then, let's see, you lay the baby down and sacrifice the baby and the devil come out the ground and grant you black magic. Okay, all right. And then the famous one that we know about, the doll, that damn doll. We had a lady drive all the way down here from Canada 3 months ago. Canada, y'all. And she bought a doll, one of these novelty shops in the French Quarter, came on the tour and was sitting there with the doll doing this the whole tour. I'm not joking. Let me tell you the reason why. So her boss made her mad. So instead of hopping on the plane, she wanted to spend some time driving the thing she was gonna depress, you know? Or no, not depress. What's the English? Decompress. Yeah, and so when she got here, she saw the doll. She managed to get his hair. So she put it on, and she was like, I know you're gonna teach me how to use this, but this is bringing me satisfaction right now. So please allow me to do this right. And I was like, okay, when you find out what those are actually used for, you're gonna be quite disappointed, but okay. If that's gonna boil your crawfish right now, let it boil it. Okay, so black magic, spells, hexes, curses, devil worshiping, and all the shebang. Y'all heard that stuff before. Okay, so let me go ahead and reintroduce myself since I put the stereotypes out there. My name is Roby, and obviously I'm your tour guide. My background includes this. First off, I'm not from the city of New Orleans. I know y'all can tell that I'm from New Orleans. I'm just not from the city of New Orleans. There's swamps and bayous that surround this city. There are people that live in those swamps and bayous. That's us. Y'all seen my people on TV wrestling alligators. No, imagine swamp people except black and not racist and no subtitles. Okay, all right. Now my ancestors, they were sold as slaves right there on St. Anne Street, right there, back in the 1700s and 1800s. They were sold from there to the Myrtles Plantation. And some of y'all know that area, they call it America's Most Haunted Plantation Home. Also the Hollywood Plantation. And don't go looking for that one, they got burned down in the Civil War. But when slavery was abolished, the land was given to my ancestors. Us descendants, we still live on that land to this day. And as of 5 years ago, it is now ours and our names. Now, I don't know if y'all know y'all history on slavery, but that's a 300-year struggle that we just won only 5 years ago. Only 5 years ago. On that land, my grandma, she's still alive. You know how they say the ones that raised the most hell live the longest?
I'm 150 years old.
She's gonna live a long time.
I am.
My grandmother is 95, and she is about this high. She carries a cane. She don't need the cane. She's like the, beat people with a cane. Yeah. My grandmother is a born and raised high priestess in traditional Louisiana voodoo. Born and raised. When I turned the age of 18, my family came together. I took my vows. I went through the rites. I went through the rituals, and I became a high priest too. So you do got the real deal. I'm a full-fledged born and raised. I didn't convert. There was no book. I didn't read no script. I'm a born and raised high priest in traditional Louisiana voodoo. Now, that's daddy's side of the family. Let's talk about my mama's side of the family real quick. My mom is straight from the island of Haiti. I'm also half Haitian. That's who my uncle. Yeah. And my mother's a high priestess, born and raised in Haitian voodoo. When I turned the age of 28, I took my vows. I went through the rites. I went through the rituals, and I became a high priest in Haitian voodoo as well. I'm also born and raised in that one too. I'm a double voodoo priest. Double, born and raised in both. And I'm the only voodoo priest in this whole city giving tours. Ain't that something? I'm not bragging, I'm complaining. I'm complaining. Y'all see my okay show up? Most of them all. Most of them, we are all either double or triple in some kind of way. Like some kind of way. Because of our different parents. Granddaddy was a Rolling Stone. It go deep. It really go really deep. But yeah, most of us are either Ifa, Vodou, 21 Divisions, Paulo, Candomblé, Obeya, Lokumi, Kibanda, Santeria.
No, but like, is there anybody in your family who's only like one side of
Yeah.
what kind of priest?
There's a bunch.
Or priestess, or like nobody's a priest or priestess?
There's a bunch of them too. Good questions.
Has anybody anybody in your extended family left the voodoo tradition?
Just left it?
Yeah.
No. But they left Christianity.
How did they join Christianity if you guys were born and raised in voodoo?
Most Vodouisants, which means most people born and raised in voodoo, grow up in a Christian household. Because we use Christianity as a face to hide the fact that we're praying to our African spirit. So we do go to church. I grew up Black Baptist too. I grew up in the whole Black Baptist, the whole. Hey, I learned Austin. Yeah, I grew up that whole thing, but the whole time I was actually a voodoo priest. So I'm gonna go into more detail about that. You're asking the right questions. You know what the word astute means? I just learned this last week. I just learned this last week. I know this is my first language. I just learned this last week. Astute, you're very astute, and I'm glad I was able to use that verb with you. Yes, thank you. I learned it last week. I was so proud of myself. I'm learning new English now to make sure, like, okay, we'll get to that in a minute. All right, so the point of this is that I know what the hell I'm talking about. That was the whole point of me telling all of y'all that. Now, let's go ahead and move on to what voodoo actually is, because I'm ready to get to the park. I'm ready to do the thing. We got a surprise today because I got family on the tour, both of them. So like, we got a lot to do. Voodoo actually is a real old, authentic religion. We're so old, we predate Christianity. We come from the Congo of Africa. We're talking Benin, Yoruba, especially Yoruba. Even the islands over there by West Africa. So when these people, my ancestors, when they were sold as slaves here in the New Padi back in the 17 and the 1800s, all they did was bring their religion from Africa, but not straight here. I don't know why people think they only have slavery in the southern part of the United States. You know that's a lie, right? You know, first of all, let's talk about Mexico. This used to be Mexico. Y'all know that, right? So all these racist people saying build a wall, well, they was here first. What you talking about? But they don't want to build a wall by Canada. All these undocumented white Canadians running around here. Let me get off that. And before y'all even think I'm getting political, I hate Democrats and Republicans. Don't think I'm getting I want to bind Biden just as much as I want to dump Trump. So I don't want y'all thinking I'm about to take a side, because I don't. I hate them all. I vote for the person who's going to take away the least amount of my rights, the black man. That's what I do. So anyway, as these people landed in these many different locations, Brazil, Haiti, where my mother comes from, Jamaica, Chile, Argentina, Dominican Republic, St. Martinique, they took the religion with them from Africa. And when it landed, it really ain't changed much until now. Like us descendants, we still kind of do it the exact same way our ancestors did it back then. Number one, in the religion, it's not called voodoo, by the way. Did y'all know that? Hollow, I got y'all messed up. That word made up. They made that word up to sell to the public because they know y'all was gonna buy it. The three proper terms to use today are Vodou, V-O-D-O-U, or Vodoun, V-O-D-O-U-N, or Vodun, V-O-D-U-N. No voodoo. And I'm gonna use the words voodoo and vodou with all of you today interchangeably. I'm gonna wean you off the word voodoo into vodou. You get the word voodoo out your vocabulary.
Why don't you just remove voodoo then and
Because you know the word voodoo and don't know the words voodoo. Because fou papa le Creole Louisiana.
No, so do it. Just use voodoo. Like,
No, I'm gonna wing you off. I'm gonna wing you off. Don't worry. It's gonna happen. You so worried about me, Lord. I got it. I've been doing this for 15 years. I got it. We got it. I'm almost 40. I know I don't look it, but I'm almost 40. And she older than what y'all think. Don't let you look like you around my age, like in your early 30s. Actually, still Lisa.
I'm 52.
I know. So
when did you know?
you told me. Remember? You told me a while back. Yes. You gave me your whole birthday and everything. I did a whole ceremony, prayer, blessing. Girl, get off there. All right. So in the religion of voodoo, we only worship and we only believe in one God. We're monotheistic. We're not polytheistic. People get us confused with our sister and brother religions that are polytheistic, but we remain monotheistic. And when they landed in different locations, they integrated with the natives and became poly. You know some of them because I just mentioned some of them. Palo, Ifa, Candomblé, Obayala, Kumi, Kibanda. My favorite is Santeria. You never been to a Santeria ceremony, you gotta go. But the key to going to a Santeria ceremony is to go on an empty stomach. Them people gonna stuff your ass like a turkey. All they do is dance the whole time. 6 hours. They dancing. Hey, they eat. They dancing. Hey, they eat. 6 hours later, what you seeing? They still eating. And they the whole time. But they worship our spirits as gods and goddesses. And we worship their gods and goddesses as spirits. We believe in one God. Name of our one God? God. Just God. Dieu, or bon Dieu, which means good God. Just God. And then under God, you have something known as the Loa or the Orisha. They're above man, but below God. Any Catholics? Any recovering Catholics? Yeah. If you, oh Lord, the Catholic guilt is real. So if y'all know, it's so real. If you know anything about Catholicism, this will sound familiar. So we have God. And by the way, God has no gender. God is neither male nor female. And now if we had to give God a gender, female, not male. Now men, think about this. Who else can give birth to the world? Only a woman can give birth. Now y'all know us three can't give birth. Now y'all see them all across the LGBTQ board right here. I don't even know what letters I have. I just know I fall in some of them letters. Yes, huh? I don't know the letters. There's so many of them, girl. I just gave up. I'm just like, you know what? Whatever it is. I know I fall in one of them. I know I'm I, and I know I'm G.
Q?
I think I'm Q2. I don't know. The letters.
That's the plus and the plus.
And well, we'll just say I'm just plus because I was born. I'm intersex, so I was born with both genders, and I had both parts. So I'm hermaphroditic. So it's just like a whole bunch of letters I fall on. But the point of this is that God is a woman because hello, who else is gonna give birth to all of this? Look how beautiful. Have you ever smelled the magnolia blossom before? They smell like lemon pie. That don't sound like a man's touch, do it?
No.
It ain't. That's a woman's touch. God, a woman. Look.
Are you speaking of Nana?
No. All right, so under God you have something known as the Loa and the Orisha. And I have to repeat this because it's just that important. They're above man, below God. Who are they? They regular folks, just like us. Look at everybody here. Even if you came today with someone you related to, it doesn't change the fact that we're still all different colors, different textures, different sizes. These people were born and raised down here on earth in the biblical days. Some were born before that time, some were born after that time. Some of these people have always existed. But because of the good deeds and the miracles they perform in the name of God, when they died, God elevated them to that middle position above man but below God, known as Loa or Orisha. He then patted him on the back and said, you did a marvelous job down there on earth. Here's a spiritual job and here's a spiritual domain. Now men pray to the Loa before they pray to God. Catholics sound familiar? Y'all do the same thing?
Question. When you say biblical times, are you referring to the same biblical times or do you have a different
Biblical means hundreds and hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago. So it's just a word, not during
so
what the
there's
Christians would consider the biblical time.
So it's just like a
Long time ago, even then all the way up to recent. So the Catholics call them the saints. That was the point of that. Jesus, don't leave Jesus out. Jesus and the saints. But total coincidence. Don't mash those people together. They're not the same. The Loa, the Orisha, and the saints are not the same people. And I don't know why the Catholics think they came up with the whole above man but below God thing. No, y'all didn't, Catholics. Y'all stole it from paganism during the Crusades. When they talk about that, that idea actually goes all the way back to the cave people who believed whenever the people around them died, they became the stars in the sky. The stars followed the moon, and the moon followed the sun. And that's the Son of God. And that's where we got that from. But as far as like actual voodoo is concerned, true, raw, pure, authentic African, Haitian, Louisiana voodoo, all of this, believe it or not, that's it. Literally, that's it. That's all what voodoo is. Worshiping God and honoring those spirits right there in ceremony. So this begs the next question. Only two what?
No. Like a bazillion.
There's thousands.
So sorry. and my brain
Are you
processes-
translating?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
My native language is English, but I process slow. So you have God, and then you have the two things. Sorry, I don't know their names. They're
The
spirits.
Lawan, the Orisha?
The Lawan and the Orisha. Are they spirits?
There are two different groups with a bunch of people up under.
Yes. So you have the Lawan, the Orisha, who are above man but below God, and they are spirits.
Okay.
And there's thousands in Lawa, thousands of Orisha, but honestly, they're the same people with different names. So you say Lawa in Haiti, you say Orisha in Africa. Same spirits. We're gonna go into more detail about that because I see you know some stuff. You on your journey? Oh, there you are? Oh, we definitely
Not
got you.
official, but
Oh, I got you. I got you. I read you though. So this begs the next thing because it's gonna take us over here. Why are we here? Because if that's all what voodoo is, what happened? Where is the blood? Where is the bones? Where is the skulls? Where is the hexes? Where is the curses? What happened to sacrificing babies and drinking the blood? How come this tour is being done in the daytime and not at night? What happened to all of that? What about these voodoo shops here inside the French Quarter? Like, it's kind of hard to tell what's a real voodoo shop and what's not, right? There's a shop right there called Bloody Mary's Haunted Museum Voodoo Pharmacy. Can somebody please tell me what a voodoo pharmacy is? Oh, wait. Y'all got Catholic pharmacy? Y'all got Baptist? Episcopalian. Can you imagine seeing an Episcopalian pharmacy trying to figure out if they Catholic or not? Y'all want to know the truth behind this lady, Bloody Mary? She moved down here after Hurricane Katrina from Maine. She's from Maine. She's from the northern part of the United States. Blonde-headed lady with blonde hair, blue eyes, white woman wearing bright red lipstick, wearing a shawl, dancing like Stevie Nicks. Claiming to be a voodoo priestess and can't even speak our language. No. But then you go up in there, she's selling all her witchcraft to you as voodoo. Here's another one. Marie Laveau's Haunted House of Voodoo on Bourbon Street. Oh yeah, that one gotta be real, right? Because you know I think them on TV, so they gotta be real. They wouldn't lie to me, y'all. I think y'all figured it out. It's all made up. All that ooga booga blood and bones. Y'all really think we kill babies? Y'all really think that we drink babies' blood and rub the blood on our faces and stuff? We don't do that. I'm a high priest of two forms of voodoo. I'm born and raised in these traditions. I'm not converting. There was no book. Does it look like I want to eat anybody's child? And dancing in the graveyard. You know what's out there? Roaches. Have you ever stepped on a roach before? That's not pleasant. They pop. Yeah, and did you know every time you step on a female roach, they pop to reproduce?
You don't do that. Don't do that. I'm screaming.
Oh my God. But y'all done come here on the roaches, right? Y'all came for blood, bones, skulls, hexes, and curses, some of y'all. And every Southerner on this tour knows this expression. There is always a grain of truth in every lie. So we're gonna concentrate on that grain of truth. We're gonna get out the year 2021 and we're gonna head on back to the 17 and the 1800s. I'm gonna do something to y'all not gonna like. Every last one of you here in this family, you are now slaves, despite your skin color. Does it make you uncomfortable? Yes, good. I gotta put you in the shoes of my ancestors. So when we go over here and start talking about slavery, you get a better understanding of why black people like us still angry about the society we live in today. By the way, for those of you on the tour saying, well, black people need to get over it, I just got called the N-word yesterday morning. Get over that bullshit. So this lady walked to the car and she said, I didn't know niggas lived in this neighborhood. And I said, well, the niggas built this neighborhood. You got something to say? She walked in the door. She went, well, this is why I don't like y'all. And walked away. Yeah, a little older white lady. But that's what we're supposed to get over, right? That's what we're supposed to get over. Anyway, this goes back to systemic racism, goes all the way back to Africa. By the way, Africa is a continent. That is not a country. That's a continent. There are more countries in Africa than we have states in the United States. Alabama man came on this tour a couple of months ago. He had a Bible in his back pocket, 78 years old, and was trying to convert me, called Africa a country 3 times. I had to correct that. But you have a country this big with 18 languages stuffed in that one country. Then you got a country right beside it this big, 2 languages. None of those languages are related to each other. Those are the people that were sold as slaves here in the French Quarter. They can't talk to each other. And don't you know what the slave owner's speaking over there? French. We don't speak French. We don't know what the French language is. How are we going to communicate? Same way my ancestors did it back then. Here I am, a living byproduct. Any of y'all speak French?
Tiny bit.
I know you tiny bit because of Papa.
Tiny.
Nobody? Tout le monde me parle français. Je parle louisianien et je parle haïtien. Nobody? I said in my first language, I don't speak French either. That wasn't French. That's a Creole language. That was specifically Louisiana Creole. Do y'all know what a Creole language is? I had a lady come on my tour one time and say, I thought Creole was food. And I looked at her and I said, that's like going to someone from China and saying, I thought Chinese was food. Here's what Creole language is. You take the French language, throw it in a gumbo pot. Then you take all the languages out of our mouth, mostly African languages like Kiswahili, the Makumba dialects, the Zulu dialects. Chop them all up into pieces, throw them on top of French, blend them all together. It's a language gumbo. That's what a Creole language is. I speak 2. Remember, my mama and my daddy come from two different French colonized areas with West African slaves, Haiti and Louisiana. Listen to the dialect differences. Moi, je parle Creole Louisiane. I said in Louisiana Creole, I speak Louisiana Creole. Et on parle Creole Haitien. And then I said in Haitian Creole, I speak Haitian Creole. Now we got everything we need. Common language, common religion. We all slaves who set the stage. Now, before we go over here, you need to know something about what happened with New Orleans voodoo, because now we're about to get moving. In the early 1900s, all the white French Catholics got together. They found every African, voodoo, Native American, and South American artifact they could find in the French Quarter. They piled it all up in front of the cathedral and they set it all on fire in the name of Jesus. There's no more voodoo in the French Quarter. As a matter of fact, the voodoo that was practiced by the black people in the city of New Orleans died out in the early 1900s. The Catholics won. They wiped it away. It is no longer existing. It's gone forever. The only voodoo you'll find in Louisiana left is plantation voodoo, where I come from. A lot of Haitian people are here now, Haitian voodoo. You'll find the Cajun variant, Cajun voodoo, and you'll also find some Native American variants on the outskirts of New Orleans, but that's it, no more.
Sorry, which type of voodoo did they burn again?
Okay, so I said they found all the artifacts
Oh, all the
and piled them in front of the cathedral and set them all on fire. So it doesn't make any artifact that wasn't white or Christian. They set it all on fire. Now, sit with that, because that was a big deal.
No, sorry.
I know you're trying to understand. It's okay. I'm not mad.
Okay.
I don't want you to think I'm mad.
No, it's not you. It's everybody else.
You're asking good questions.
You're asking
We don't know what to
questions.
ask, so
You really are.
you're asking great questions.
Yeah.
So you were saying that there's plantation voodoo. So what is plantation voodoo and how is it different from having the artifacts? Because the voodoo is a religion and the artifacts is a byproduct of that, like a representation of that. How is it different from plantation voodoo?
We're coming to it. All right, so
Any other type?
it's coming. All right. So now I said that for a reason, because I want y'all to know that when y'all go into the French Quarter, like, stay away from those damn voodoo shops. They fake as fuck. There's only one authentic voodoo shop. You're gonna get the email. You know, like, listen. Now, this goes all the way back to systemic racism. Slave owners not treating their slaves right. France sent a document here to the new patty known as the Black Code, also known as the Code Noir. It's a list of laws on how to treat your slaves. One of those laws, it says that all slaves, and remember that's us, must be off on Sunday. Now, y'all know the difference between being off and being free? I hope so. Off means we still slave. Okay, all right. I'm going to use my magical tour guiding powers. We're going to make today Sunday. Happy Sunday, y'all. We're off. Now that today's Sunday, we're going to work together as a family and take advantage of every second, minute, and every opportunity. And we're going to take care of all of you here. One of you is going to use the use of our religion, Vodou, to set us free from slavery. Y'all going to use it to set us free. We're going to do it right where my ancestors did it in Congo Square. Shall we? Let's move.
Right.
You are handsome.
This isn't. Y'all missed out. I turned red because our tour guide was flirting with me.
Yes.
Yes.
He called you a whole snack.
Oh Lord.
A whole snack.
Y'all need to come down here and enjoy this free tour by foot. This is amazing, and we're already learning so much. But you're not getting the smells. You get some of the sights, and you get to hear some of what's being said, but you're not getting the full experience. So come on down, figure out how to be part of this. And we're gonna keep going. This is. Are you enjoying this, my love?
Oh my gosh, it's the best.
Take a look at the sign. The sign is telling you about three major groups of people that were actually influenced the whole entire city of New Orleans. Let's talk about the Houma Native Americans. This was their land first. They were here first. This is where they used to harvest their corn, they used to harvest their vegetables, and they also used to do their own religious activities out here where you're standing right now. Now, when the French came and colonized, i.e. stole the land from them, they got pushed back. The French brought with them on the ships the Congo people of West Africa and the Senegal people of West Africa. Now, the real reason why they actually had off on Sunday was because they were forced to go to Mass. They were forced to be Catholic. Notice what's dead ahead right there. There's the cathedral. Notice there's a path that leads from the cathedral right here to where you're standing. Now, you know Mass don't last all day. It don't. So after Mass, the slaves would get out of Mass, they would run down the path, hop the wall, and they came over here. And since they had off on Sunday, they created everything that y'all love about New Orleans. I'm gonna repeat that. Everything y'all love about New Orleans came from black people. For instance, this is the birthplace of jazz music. A bunch of slaves came together, started. bam, jazz was born. And do you know that gave birth to most of the music y'all like to listen to this day? For instance, pop, rock and roll, neo soul. I love you, Erykah Badu. You are a goddess. Same.
Agreed.
Now, oh, I love her so much. Here's the one that made that guy from Alabama Man, the one that had the bob in his back pocket trying to convert me on the tour. Jazz music gave birth to country music. Oh, he was mad. He was hotter than fish grease. He was not having it. He looked at me and said, our music didn't come from a bunch of N-words. And he walked off the tour. Now,
Whoa.
but God is good. Now, y'all see I'm a happy individual. I don't let other people ruin my energy because in the end, I'm the one going home to my pillow with my Nintendo Switch and then my Animal Crossing game and in my room playing my thing. But as he was walking off over there, his wife looked at me. She was so upset. She was just like, I'm so sorry for my husband's behavior. And she handed me a tip. And as they were walking over there to that black bench, she stuck her foot out. He face planted right there on that concrete right there. And then she'd look back at me and go. Now what's messed up is that you can hear the plop. You hear him just that plop. I went to go run to help the man. And a lady on my tour said, no, don't go help him. I said, well, ma'am, he might be hurt. She said, that man just showed you how dirty he was. Allow him to wallow in his filth. And I went, oh, that's some good advice for this voodoo priest. So I just left his ass over there on the ground. Now come over here to the raised area. Lisa, do you have a mouchoir today? You brought a mouchoir?
A headdress?
Yeah.
No, the fly.
Yeah, so we're going to do something. You fine, that's what I'm looking at. That's a good idea. This raised area is known as the Poto Miton, which translates to the center of the ceremony. So this center is where my ancestors used to come. That's Creole. That's Louisiana Creole. And also Haitian Creole too. A lot of Louisiana Haitian Creole are.
But when you spoke it just now, the accent was so different.
Yeah, but some of the words are the same. So like it reminds me if you hear someone from Jamaica talking to you and they're speaking in English. So the accent is different. But some of the words are the same. Does that make sense? That's actually pretty good you said it.
Because when we speak English, when we speak like Jamaican kind of English, it's
Yeah.
weird. You hear it, you're like, what?
Yep. Oh, and when they go into patois, which is an English-based Creole, I'm just going. Yeah. This is where, now, I want to invite you out here, by the way, especially you. I want you to come out here on Sunday. If y'all around on Sunday, this is a 300-year tradition that still happens to this day. My Uncle Luther's going to set the drums up over there, and then we do a whole public ceremony. This is a tradition that's been going on for 300 years, and we have not stopped yet. We do an ancestor ceremony. It starts at 3 o'clock. Well, 3 or 4 o'clock-ish, you'll hear the drums. But everything I'm telling you about right now still happens for the public, to show y'all that we don't kill babies and we don't drink blood and we don't do none of that crazy stuff that Hollywood keep telling y'all.
So how did you continue during COVID?
We didn't stop. You just can't, you can't catch COVID out here, right? That's why you ain't got your mask on. You got to be in an enclosed building with no circulating air, and we don't go in the buildings on this tour. And I'm triple vaccinated. I ain't got time to be catching nobody's illness. So whether you believe in this thing or not, I ain't got time to be catching it. But anyway, look at these oak trees. That's why I brought you out here. These trees now, I got to talk about those trees. We have 3 kinds of oak trees. These are live oaks. These are the oldest ones that we have. We also have white oaks. You'll get a chance to see those when we go over there to the other side of the park. And we also have water oaks, which you can find those by the bayou and the swamps. But these live oaks were planted by my ancestors all those years ago. These are old. Now, when they planted these, they were like little sprigs, obviously. But they planted them all in a circle to represent everybody holding hands. To represent no matter who you are, no matter what color you are, no matter what culture you come from, no matter what race you are, there's only one race. Human race. That's it, only one. That's what these trees represent. Now, on that note, a lot of the West African slaves, since they had off on Sunday, they were allowed to do a lot of things that a lot of slaves were not allowed to do on the plantations. Come here, baby. Come stand right here. Your handsome self. You got abs. You got abs?
He runs marathons.
Huh?
He runs half marathons.
You run half marathons?
On purpose?
I want him.
You want everything.
I know, girl. It's so bad.
How do you feel about this?
Got y'all down.
Oh, Lord, she got me. You got me good.
Because I did choose you earlier, but now this tall drink of water that walked up beside me, he not turning red at all. I think he used to this. You can call handsome all the time, huh? Where you from? Oh, you from Canada? And you don't speak no French, huh? Oh, you so shy and handsome and cute. Say hello to everybody.
Hey.
I'm gonna make him the head fisherman. I'm giving him his first job. You know where the best catfish is spot at. Wait, y'all know how I feel about our fried catfish?
Oh
There's
my
a whole culture.
God.
Yes, we take it so seriously. Fry me some catfish and I got you.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you too. The name of the restaurant is called Little Dizzy's.
Okay.
Y'all like
That's on my
Little
list.
Dizzy's? Yes, it's right here in the Tremaine. Oh, in the gumbo shop. But the
Oh
Little
my
Dizzy's got the
gosh.
best fried catfish though. Today Friday. So you'll get an email from me after the tour, and I'm gonna send you there. I'm gonna tell you how to. I got you.
It's so good.
It's so good, for real, not for play. So you see how excited they got? They really excited about this catfish. That's how big of a deal you is for this family. You need to smile about that and cut up and laugh a little bit. All right, so we're gonna take us 3 men. We're gonna hop the bayou over there for about 1 hour. That's all we need. See that pretty lady right there, the one you belong to? Now she gonna teach the rest of the ladies here in the family how to take the acorns out the oak trees. And we also have indigenous pecans that grow down here, and also black walnuts that grow down here as well. And they're gonna collect all these nuts and then take these huge stones and mash them together to extract the oil out of them. They do have cast iron skillets. How did slaves get cast iron skillets? They traded with the Native Americans. That was also allowed out here as well. And they waiting on us to come on back with a big old bonfire with this oil and these skillets. They waiting on this fish to come on back. Now you realize if we don't catch no catfish, we can't come back, right? The women gonna kill us. Don't let that pretty smart fool y'all. She probably got a gun or a knife or a taser on a person somewhere. You gotta be careful with Southern women. But us men, we know how to catfish too, right, future husband?
Yeah.
He fell for it. Look at that.
Gotta be good.
Even
Gotta be
argue.
good.
So we're gonna bring this catfish back on over here. We're gonna gut it and skin it. The ladies gonna fry it, and we're all gonna eat like kings today. Okay, why is that so important? We're the only slaves allowed to do that down here in the South. You can't find it on the antebellum homes or on the plantations. Only in the city of New Orleans. Lots of slaves died of malnutrition back then because the slave owner believed that we were 1/5 human and at one point 3/5 human. But thanks to you on Sunday, since we have off and only in the city of New Orleans, we have a fighting chance of survival. We have a better chance of survival because with your skills with catching catfish, we can try to fatten ourselves up and put a little meat on our bones. Now this does involve somebody else in the family. You're not alone. Come up here, sister. I'm bringing you to the front because you two trying to always stay back there in the back. And I ain't got time for that. No, she stay there. You say hey to everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
You're done with names.
Girl, you got me. All right. No, this is just so cute and bubbly. It is just, I just love it. So you're gonna be the head weaver. You're responsible for hand making all the clothes we got on. Without her talents, we all be running around here buck naked, and you know that's a big deal. The mosquitoes down here carry shotguns. You ever seen our mosquitoes, pretty lady? You hear, and then you hear. Now, how did you sew us some clothes as a slave? That don't make no sense. You're a slave. It does. You took some of his catfish and you traded with the Native Americans who were also out here as well for fabric, and then you handmade us some clothes and gave us something the slave owner actually thought he stole from us, our dignity. Now we know what your job is and what your job is. You two are on a very important mission. Again, everything I'm telling you is going to be happening Sunday right here, including their jobs. You're going to set up a table and you're going to sell some of that catfish you got left over. You're going to set up a table and sell some of them head wraps and them dresses that you're handmade. Best part about this, any money they make, in their pockets. It belongs to them and not the slave owner. Why? Because today's Sunday. We are off. What's wrong? Question.
Sorry if this is a bad question, but did slaves get paid?
Did slaves get paid?
Because,
No.
Yeah, so then where do you get the money from?
If they're selling, well, the slave owner got to eat too. So he'll send a house slave with some money to hop the wall and come over here and buy catfish for the house. Now, since the slaves have off on Sunday, they're not working. So any money they make on that specific day is theirs because they're off. So, but slaves don't get paid. Otherwise, they
Yeah,
would be
but I
called
was wondering
slaves.
where the money would come from, because my understanding is that slaves don't get paid.
No, baby. That's what you call an indentured servant. And even then, be careful with indentured servants because what's the difference between a slave and an indentured servant? 3 pennies a month. Remember the Irish? Yeah, we're going to talk about that coming up. All right, so again, remember that. What's the difference between a slave and an indentured servant? 3 pennies a month. That's how much indentured servants got paid. 3 pennies a month.
So the master would send a slave down and like
Right.
did the other slave understand that fish was sacred and that was
Well, it's not necessarily the fish is sacred. It's more of survival. Remember, the city of New Orleans is a major slave port, and it's a huge marketplace. If you want to call New Orleans anything, it's just a huge marketplace.
Yes.
So the slaves hopped on board because they were trying to purchase all their children out of slavery into freedom.
Right.
They didn't want none of their children to grow up enslaved the way that they did and give the children a fighting chance of survival. On that note, Lisa, because it's very important that you said that, that spawned a large group of people known as the Free People of Color. The three of us are a product of free people of color, as black people. Yes, and there's one free woman of color who Lisa just mentioned, who's going to enter this family later, who's going to work with us and help us earn us our freedom from slavery. And her name is Mamzelle Marie Laveau. That question led right to where we needed to land, by the way. With you asking that, that's very important you ask that question. So you two are very important here inside this family. My 8 kids depending on you. Understand what I'm saying? You understand me? Yeah. I don't need no more. No, girl. No more. No more. 34. My granddaddy was crazy. 34 damn kids. Keep your missions in mind. They're going to come to play later. Y'all can go back now. Y'all did good.
Yeah. Woo.
Look how she's looking at him.
Indentured servants would take the money from the owners because the slaves are not working. So
You're
there was no
confused.
money for
You didn't mixed up. You didn't took one thing I said from one point and then combined it with something else.
So I'm just clarifying.
Slaves are different from indentured servants.
Yeah.
Okay. Indentured servants and slaves were all out here, but nobody was taking money from anyone. Slave owner was in a house slave, not an indentured servant, from his house to buy catfish, buy fabric, buy whatever, from the slaves who set up booth here. They were off on Sunday, so the slaves were allowed to do it.
Yeah, but why would they do that? Not just buy food on the regular weekdays from the market? Was it because the food was tastier, or like they just didn't have
You got the French market right there that can sell apples for $1 for a bushel. You got a bunch of slaves out here selling them for 12 cents a bushel. What's it gonna be? Make sense? So yeah, it kind of, you know, it's funny you say that because it's kind of how, I hate to say this, it's kind of how all the white people still live in the French Quarter and all the black people still live in the first black neighborhood right here known as the Tremé. And then you'll find the same stuff in the Tremé that you'll find in the French Quarter, but if you go to the Tremé, it's a whole lot cheaper.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So it's, and I'm not, before anybody think I'm hating on white people, remember I'm part French, I'm Creole. I'm part French and I'm Irish. I have a whole tartan and everything, just so y'all know. So I don't want y'all to think
Can
that.
we see it?
Yeah, I don't have it.
Stop traveling.
You want to see my underwear?
I already see you in your underwear.
Oh, that's right. You on my Instagram. That's right.
It's true. He's like,
Yeah.
wow.
That ain't right.
Come here, baby. You next. She thought I wasn't gonna call her. The only way I was able to get away with doing that stuff on Instagram is that if you don't show any skin, you can get away with it.
You
And
can see everything.
I know.
I was applauding. I was like, you go.
Now, a lot of them posts got taken down. I drew Instagram crazy with like
Yeah, you did.
nudity, because I don't care. You know, in my culture, we don't care about nudity. Well, I was snapping all kind of pictures.
Oh yeah, he was
all
he
up
was
under
all
there.
like,
and putting them on Instagram, and I was like, you can't take this down because I'm not showing any skin, and also most importantly,
you were
this is
very
art.
tested.
Yes, but I'm like, also I'm gonna do. Come stand right here. Say hello to everybody. You got an important job, girl. I'm gonna give you a green thumb and make you the head cook. How about that? Do you cook or do any growing in real life?
Yeah, I don't grow though. I don't have a great thumb.
Does she cook for real? Oh!
No,
She does cook. She does not have a green thumb.
Oh, okay. I was about to say you about to spill the tea on
she
this
cooks.
girl.
No, I can't even keep like cactuses alive. It's true. We were just talking about it at breakfast.
Yeah.
You one of those kind of people.
Yeah, it does not.
Well, how about we just concentrate on the fact that you're really good at the cooking because that's going to be
That's
our
fair.
survival tactic.
That's so good.
All right. Now she done picked out a nice piece of land up there on top of the bayou. She has a few key things growing. How is she maintaining a garden as a slave? It don't make no sense, right? Well, it kind of does. She has some family members who have been bought and sold into slavery, but also have earned their freedom through time. Remember them free people of color I mentioned? They're helping her maintain her garden while she's doing her duties as a slave in the French Quarter. So it's not the fact that you actually have a garden that's important, because you know anybody can be like, I got a garden. And then you go out there in the garden, there's a bunch of weeds growing out there. It's what you got growing. First crop she got growing is one the Native Americans introduced to us. Corn. Do I talk about the corn? Overgrown grass, wheat, the seeds came from Mexico. Mexico saved the world.
Love,
Let me repeat that again. All the racists on the tour.
love.
Mexico saved the world. There's no way around that one. I don't care how y'all feel about them. They some
I
wonderful people.
swear to God, I want to kneel right now.
Yes, I'm just saying.
I do.
Oh, don't eat their onions right now. You know salmonella. But you know everything else is all good. So that's important. The next crop I'm gonna kind of dance about. Watermelon. I felt that one. Yo, that Southern stereotype is true. Southern people love watermelon and fried chicken. That's not a white or a black thing. That's a Southern thing. Hey. A lot of people don't know that watermelon came from Africa, specifically East Africa through the West African slave trade. No joke. Now, the last crop you brought from West Africa. Without this one crop, we don't have one of our most very famous dishes. This one crop, okra. Yeah, girl. Y'all realize it ain't gumbo unless it got the okra in there, right?
Yeah.
It is not gumbo unless it has okra. I think y'all call it soup. Right, called soup, right? Y'all know what the word gumbo means? Okra. It means okra. That's Creole, specifically Louisiana Creole for the actual plant itself, okra. Baby, you know how to make some of the best gumbo down here in the South. You know how to put your foot in that gumbo, make it taste I said bon. We don't put our feet in y'all food. That's just a Southern black expression. All the black women say that when they're cooking in the kitchen, right, ladies? Back me up. Yeah. Now this dude poses a problem. And if you don't know the solution to the problem, look at your beautiful family. Maybe one of them has a solution to the problem. Here's the problem. Girl, your crop's done.
Yes, that's about right.
And you did tell me that too. It's 100 degrees in Louisiana, 100% humidity, no clouds in sight. It ain't rain in 3 weeks and no crops, no gumbo. Sweetheart, that's bad. What we gonna do? Ask the family, maybe they know.
You want me to ask her?
She needs water, so we need to come up with a solution. How?
2 ways. Either you get it from your house without
We slaves, baby. What house?
The well.
the one that you're working at. Oh no, you're
That's
working
the
at
slave on the
so
water.
You get it from the bayou.
They're gonna shoot you. They're gonna think you're trying to escape.
The well.
What whale? Y'all, these are all good answers. I'm just leading you in the right place. Say it.
You're gonna pray your spirit.
That's right.
for the rain to come.
We're gonna do a voodoo ritual, girl. What do you say?
Yep.
We ain't got to do the voodoo ritual for you if you don't want the damn voodoo ritual. We're gonna do something else. Okay, you ain't say nothing. You ain't seem excited about it. Y'all wanna do a voodoo ritual down the tour? All righty. You wanna do a voodoo ritual? I'm trying to wake his ass up. You see his ass don't like to talk. All right, we're gonna do that for you. We're gonna do that for you. But it won't be you conducting the voodoo ritual.
We need a priest or a priestess.
We need a
Say it again, because I don't think they heard you.
Priest or priestess.
Yes, we sure do. You got to go to the one woman who's going to solve all of our problems. Without this one woman, we don't have a family. Don't look over there. I think she know who she is. Come on over here, Mama. Now, I chose her because of how she greeted me this morning. She had a big old grin. Both of them had big old grins on their faces, and they were so polite and kind to me. Here's the head voodoo queen here inside the family.
Woo!
You deserve this. Now, head voodoo queen means that you're the head voodoo priestess. And I don't want any of you women to get confused in this family, especially you with a double job, also you back there with a double job, and you with a double job. All of you women, every last one of you ladies in this family are all voodoo queens. You're all voodoo priestesses. She put you through the rites and the rituals, and you took your vows to this pretty lady. And as I say in the religion, she made your head, made you a priestess. Men were known as voodoo doctors. That's what you call a voodoo priest. We don't get the royal title the way that the women do. You got a job coming up, but you'll be the priest for the family, and also your respective job coming up in a minute. Now, the reason why we don't get the royal title is because women are dominant in this culture.
Amen.
Women rule the religion and the relationships. Women even rule the marriages. And scientifically proven, this is not my opinion, learn this. This is not my opinion, this is science. When a woman's in charge of a relationship or a situation, the relationship will last longer and the situation most likely in positive. That is science. That's not my opinion. So no matter how y'all feel about that, there's data to support what I just said, period. I'm trying to get y'all to put y'all crowns back on. Okay, so straighten it up. So here's the deal. You didn't elevate yourself to high priestess. The family did that. You got the most knowledge about our culture and our traditions. And you've been teaching some of us since we were children how to worship God and honor the spirit in ceremony. And because of it, even though you may not be older than everybody here, we all gonna call you one thing. Mama! Now you may not give birth to us physically, you gave birth to us spiritually, that's equally as important. Look at my sister, look how sad she looks, look how sad. Oh.
I did lose a cactus. It's really bad. It's really bad.
That day she said she needs some wind and rain. She can't even keep a cactus alive. We need no permission to do this voodoo ritual. Do we have it? You do. All right, you can go back now. Give her a round of applause.
Yay!
Cactus. Come on, sis. Have you ever heard that expression, the president is the figurehead where the vice president does all the work? That's the case here. Mama, during the ritual, your job stand there, look pretty. That's it. You gorgeous, but you doing everything. I'm putting you to work so I can have more time with him. You'll be running around in the background, lighting candles, making food, checking on the children. Also, during the ritual, there are key things that only you know how to do, taught to you by her, that's gonna make this thing a success. You're the backbone of the family. And the reason why you're doing all the work is because if she gets sold to a plantation permanently, or she become a permanent house slave, you're gonna have to step up and take her place, and then choose the next voodoo queen in line, and then the cycle continues. You always gotta have a ram in the bush, like you said. All right, we got our 2 high priestesses in the family. About time for the ritual. Here's the problem. All of you got the wrong idea about what a voodoo ritual actually means. Y'all know what Hollywood done told you what a voodoo ritual actually means. I gotta clear that up, yeah. So we gotta clear that up because it's not what you think. We're gonna head over here to the most sacred tree that we have. This tree is known as the Egun tree, which translates to the ancestor tree. And it's been here for 300 years, and we're gonna go do something there. What you got?
You see that you have 3 people of
Oh
color
yeah, 3 people of color.
taking care of their own crops, but you have your crops is your land, and that land is to be owned by somebody.
No. Remember the French Quarter was just there. Remember at the beginning of the tour?
Yeah.
All this was open swamps and bayous. So on Sundays, since the slaves had off, and the city's surrounded by water, so there's no escaping, they're allowed to take a piece of land and do whatever they want with it because nobody claims it.
Okay, so then nobody came in later on, like, wait,
Oh, what that, I mean,
that was much later. Like,
much later, you know that whole thing when the government started taking the land from Native Americans in the name of the United States. But you know, that's a kind of touchy sensitive subject. Don't you ever apologize for being who you are as a woman, okay? Don't you do that. You notice I'm not mad at you or anything. Don't you ever apologize. You are who you are. Baba, bonjour.
Bonjour, mon fils.
Comment ça va, Julia?
You didn't call me.
Wait, what?
No, mon fils.
Oh, it's like here. More Haitian. No. Wait, what part of Haiti? Oh, my mom's from Haiti.
oh, nice.
Yeah, she bougie.
What's the last name?
Loso.
Felipe
Felipe?
Nelson.
Oh, Nelson? Who's he? Who's he? Shaggy.
Yes, your cousin.
Shaggy.
I don't think so. And
Yeah.
you're like, my grandma was Dominican and Haitian.
My grandfather was Dominican and
You're
Haitian.
lying.
I'm not lying.
You have a
My,
picture?
that's right there. Like, that's my family. Yeah, girl. Why you did this?
Because you don't call me.
Cookies out. Cookies out. Lovely.
I don't want to talk no more.
Eh?
I've been trying to get you to call me. I told your mama.
No, you did not.
Yes.
You did not.
Yes.
I'm in trouble.
Did he tell you all that he's the only Haitian voodoo priest that's a tour guide in the entire state of Louisiana? I have to yell at him because he's fixing to tell that. He's special.
You told my mom.
Yes, because you never told me. And I told her, don't change.
I'm in trouble, y'all. I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm gonna get you back for that.
They tell me
It was
what's
nice
up front that counts.
Eh?
It's what's up front that counts.
Y'all in good hands, y'all can see out there already, huh? Cousine? Cousine? Say again. Say again. Oh, shit. She told me to leave.
We're on the other side. Maybe?
Come around this way. There's more to see. Actually, if you face the tree this way, I'm just standing here to see what Baba was gonna do. Huh? Oh, Baba Nate. He actually he's not initiated like us, but he's part of the tradition, the culture of there. He's trying to
See little things?
Yeah, but he always dressed up as Diddy. He either in purple, black, or white. Yeah, remember y'all, we're gonna take pictures and stuff like that, just so y'all know. So what y'all just okay, so y'all figured out the girl was from Haiti. I never met her. So he wanted me to meet her and talk to her. He's been trying to get me to teach him Haitian Creole. And so now that he got a Haitian to it, he want to rub it in like, yeah, I got me a Haitian tattoo now, son, yeah. So that's my godfather, just so y'all know. Like if something happens to me, if something happens to my mom or my dad, I go to him. So, and he's also my mentor. And I'm glad y'all got to meet more of my family. And also other Haitians, by the way. Y'all get to hear a little bit of Creole being spoken between the two of us. Take a look at the tree. I want you to take a look at this tree because this has been here for over 300 years. My family's been praying at this tree for over 300 years. It's known as the Agun tree, also known as the ancestor tree. Now, Hollywood tells y'all that we're gonna, I don't know, let's see, pentagram on the ground. Y'all know the pentagram not an evil symbol, right? It means earth, air, fire, water, spirit, and makes harmony. But they say we draw the blood pentagram on the ground. We take the goat and chop the head off the goat, drink the blood, and then we use the blood in vials and then put the devil juice in it and stuff. And I don't know. We're not doing that. That's made up. Voodoo ritual just means one thing. It just means prayer. But it's how we conduct our prayer that made the slave owner scared of us. The way we do our prayer is not in his Catholic Bible. One of the most popular beliefs back then is that if you're not Catholic, baby, you're a devil worshiper, and the devil gonna grant you black magic. You shamanistic like the Native Americans, you're a devil worshiper. Are you Protestant? You know, Baptist, Methodist, Episcopalian? Guess what you are? Devil worshiper. They truly believe that Roman Catholicism was the only true religion, not denomination, y'all. I said religion in the whole world. And if you ain't Catholic, you're going straight to hell with gasoline draws on. Now, one of the laws of the black, it's okay to laugh. Think about it, you in hell got gasoline underwear on fire everywhere. That's so bad for me.
Don't give me that look. Don't give me that look.
One of the laws of the black code says that all slaves, and remember that's us, must be Roman Catholic. Now, y'all, we have no idea what those words mean. Y'all know that, right? Why? Because mom didn't teach this family Roman Catholicism. This gorgeous, beautiful lady taught this family Vodou. We worship God, and we worship God proudly. That's what they taught me. That's what she taught me. Now, the slave owner, he got this document, the Black Code. Remember the list of laws? Mm-hmm. One of those laws says that all slaves must be Roman Catholic, and all slaves must convert to Catholicism. Slave owner's like, I don't know how to convert these slaves to Catholicism. I can barely talk to them. So he did it the best way he knew how. He brought us together in the French Quarter. You know what he said to us? Look here, slaves. All these gods and these goddesses that y'all worship, they don't exist. What's wrong with y'all? Ain't no such thing as gods and goddesses. There's only one God. One God. And the name of that God, God. And that's the God that you need to worship. We should be confused right now, right? How many gods do we worship?
One.
What's the name of that one God?
God.
For real? It's the same thing? It's the exact same? Girl, got me grabbing my pearls. Jesus. Look, the slave owner was like, wait a minute, bro. You want us to worship one God and his name is God? You know, that's what she taught me growing up. That's the same thing. We've been doing that for thousands of years. Oh, check. All right. We do that. Then he said, you need to know about the saints. Now, we never heard that word before, saints. Like, man, what are these saints? He said, saints are regular folks born and raised down here on earth in the biblical days. Some of these people were born before that time. Some of these people were born after that time. Some of these people have always existed. But because of the good deeds and the miracles they perform in the name of God. When they died, God elevated them to that middle position above man but below God, known as saint. He then patted them on the back and said, you did a marvelous job down there on earth. Here's a spiritual job. Here's a spiritual domain. Now man pray to the saints before they pray to God. Well, that's the Lawa and the Orisha. That's the same thing. Oh well. Check. All right. Then he said, you need to know the names of the saints. Okay, maybe there's a difference there. Come on, man, tell us the names. He said, you need to know about Saint Mary. Who? He said, Saint Mary is the mother of Jesus. Jesus is part of the Holy Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. They all make one. Pray to Saint Mary, she the man of God as your prayers. We're confused. That sounds just like our African Ocean Orisha. Her name, Yemeya. You know her as Lasaden, Lisa. Yemeya is also the mother of God, the mother of creation, the mother of the ocean, the mother of man, the mother of dreams, the mother of everything. Pray to Yemeya, she the man that God is your prayers. Check! Then he said, you need to know about St. Peter. Man, who is St. Peter? St. Peter stands at the gates of heaven. He carries keys right here. Sometimes the picture is having a cane. When you die, you cannot enter the gates of heaven without going through St. Peter. We're confused. It sounds just like our African Haitian Loa. His name, Papa Legba. Now, some of y'all heard that name before. American Horror Story Coven turned him into a baby eating, cocaine snorting Jamaican with a white face, glowing red eyes, and dreadlocks. Look at Lisa's face.
Don't even get me started.
Oh, girl, it's so now that's offensive to us, as all three of us, because in real life, Papa Legba is actually a very old, warm-hearted, and very kind-hearted African man,
He's a
and he's a grandfather. He's like, granddaddy with the grandchildren.
Yeah.
You know, you ever seen the grandchildren? And granddaddy is like, oh, these should have been my children, not my actual children. You know, that's how granddad, he loves those grandbabies. That's Papa Legba. He carries keys right here. He carries a cane because he's crippled. He's so old. All his fingers all curled up like this, his neck turned aside. And he stands at the gates of freedom. The sweetest man you probably ever meet. He loves children. He does not want to eat his babies.
No,
He loves them. He just wants to spoil them. And the most important thing, he ain't snorting no cocaine like y'all seen on TV.
No.
His drug of choice is what all of us in Southern Louisiana and the Caribbean love the most. Rum. And not that nasty Malibu y'all keep drinking. Malibu is the devil's saliva. That's the devil's spit. Let that shit go. Legba stands at the gates of freedom. Whenever you die, you cannot enter those gates without going through Legba himself. That's enough.
What's
So-
his favorite rum, darling?
Babamco.
Really, look at it.
Yeah, well, the Giddy, take the Babamco, the Clarin, and all the other stuff there before, yeah. And then,
Honey,
What's
I
your
know.
favorite rum?
What's
your favorite?
Babamco.
Baba.
Yes.
It's Haitian rum.
Yes, a Haitian rum. I'm gonna send you a link.
Please.
Yes, so you can try it. I wish I could carry it on the tour, but it's illegal for me to carry it on the tour. Sorry. I used to and I got caught and I got a fine $300.
Ooh.
Yeah, and yeah, there's one in the French Quarter. It's called the Vieux Carré liquor store. And they have, but make sure you get the 8 year. 8 year. Don't get the 4 year. Get the 8 year. 8 year. The
Oh, I
8
was
year.
thinking, is there like a 12 or 15 or something?
There's a 15-year one, but it's so expensive.
But is it nice?
Oh, girls like velvet.
No, the 15-year one.
The 15 one is like velvet.
Okay.
Yeah, and the 8-year one is kind of like the
Do
same.
they sell it in Florida, in Miami? maybe?
Yes, they do, because there's a lot of Haitian people in Florida. So you're gonna find it. Yes, y'all, Bob Uncle. I'm gonna send you a link. Don't worry. But
No,
that's
he doesn't have my address.
it's good. Hey, it's good. Hey. All right. So that's another reason why we're gonna do our voodoo ritual over here on this side of the wall. We're not gonna do it over there on that side. Because when the slave owner peek over the wall, he not coming over here. I remember that man 3 to 1. He might be still gonna disappear over in that bayou somewhere. See, my future husband, he knows several ways to dispose of a dead body, including dumping it over a boat. Ain't that right, baby? Yes. Okay. Now, this brings us here to the Eglon tree. Look at the money. If you notice closely, you'll find money tucked inside the tree. I'm gonna try to pull one of them out. They kind of blend in because the pennies are brown like the trunk of the tree, so it's kind of hard to catch them. Look, look, money here, money there, money there, money
wow.
there. It's all
I
around the
stuck
tree.
them under the tree, but
Yeah, they're tucked in the tree. And y'all welcome to take the pictures, you know, I'm just encouraging y'all. But each one of those pennies you see in the Eglon tree is a prayer that someone has prayed. That's a prayer. You take the penny and you say what you want from your ancestors, because we believe that you cannot learn this because you're on your journey. You cannot reach the Loa or the Orisha without going through your ancestors first. It is literally impossible. Why? You're a living embodiment of your ancestors. Each one of us, these feet that we have, came from our parents. And those feet came from their parents, and those feet came from their parents, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So each one of those pennies you see is a prayer that someone has prayed to their ancestors.
Specifically have to be a penny.
Not yet, not yet, not yet. We're gonna wait. Not yet. No, it can be a dime, a penny, or anything. We just use pennies because, you know, they blend in with the tree.
stuck it under there.
Yeah, we're about to do a thing. So give you a, no, you're fine, Lisa. We're gonna give you an opportunity to leave it.
I found this at the gay bar yesterday.
Oh,
So the pennies in the tree started right when the slaves came to Louisiana?
no, that started whenever the currency, whenever we came out with the penny in the United States and black people had access to it. Traditionally, what you see at the bottom of the tree is